Sacrifice, at its core, is a manifestation of love that goes beyond the confines of self-interest. It is not born out of obligation or expectation, but from a place of profound connection, a recognition that another's well-being holds equal, if not greater, value than one's own comfort. When someone sacrifices, it is not merely an act of giving something up, it is a deliberate choice to prioritize the needs, hopes, or happiness of another over personal desires. In this context, love is not merely a feeling, but an active, transformative force. Sacrifice becomes its most authentic expression, a way to say, "You matter more to me than what I lose." This is not the transactional love we often encounter, where actions expect reciprocation, but a love that is selfless, boundless, and unconditional. It is the love that seeks no validation, no applause, and no acknowledgement, yet its impact is profound and enduring. Such acts of love are not always grand gestures. They often unfold in the quiet moments, the things that go unnoticed or are taken for granted. It is waking early to ensure someone else can rest, letting go of personal dreams to nurture someone else's, or enduring pain silently so that another may thrive. These sacrifices may seem small or invisible, but they hold the weight of entire worlds, shaping lives in ways both tangible and intangible. Sacrifice as an act of love transcends logic or reason. It is not a calculated decision, but an instinctive offering that comes from the depths of the heart. It is not weakness, but strength, the strength to let go, to endure, and to give fully without hesitation. It is the essence of love at its most vulnerable and powerful, where the giver willingly becomes smaller so that another may grow, the unseen weight of her choices. Every sacrifice carries a weight, but the heaviest burdens are often the ones no one else sees. When a woman chooses to sacrifice for someone she loves, it is not always a single, dramatic decision. Instead, it is a series of quiet choices, layered over time, each one carrying a cost that remains largely invisible to the world. These choices often seem effortless on the surface, but beneath them lies an emotional and mental landscape marked by silent struggles and unspoken compromises. The unseen weight of her choices is not only in what she gives up, but in the process of making those decisions. The conflict between her desires and her responsibilities, the tension between who she is and who she must become, creates an internal battle that no one else witnesses. In choosing to prioritize someone else's happiness or success, she often lets go of dreams she once held close, ambitions she quietly nurtured, or even aspects of her identity that defined her. Each choice she makes reverberates, carrying a ripple effect of consequences that she must absorb. The moments of doubt, the what-ifs that linger in her mind, and the knowledge that her sacrifices may never be fully understood, these are the weights she carries silently. Yet she does so with grace, shielding others from the full extent of her inner struggles, as if to protect them from the gravity of what she bears. The burden is not always physical or material, it is emotional and deeply personal. It is in the moments when she chooses patience over frustration, understanding over resentment, and giving over keeping. It is in the sleepless nights spent worrying about those she loves, the silent pain of letting go of something she cherished, and the quiet endurance of hardship so others can flourish. Her choices often go unacknowledged, not because they are insignificant, but because she makes them appear effortless. She does not seek recognition or validation, and yet the weight of these decisions shapes her life in profound ways. Her sacrifices become a foundation upon which others build their futures, and while that foundation may seem unshakable, it carries the imprint of every unseen struggle and every quiet act of letting go, and the timeless nature of giving. Giving, when done selflessly, transcends the boundaries of time. It is not confined to the moment in which it occurs, but becomes a force that echoes far beyond its initial act. True giving is timeless because it is rooted in intention rather than transaction. It is an offering of love, compassion, or sacrifice that plants seeds for a future the giver may never witness. It is not about immediate gratification or recognition, but about the quiet, enduring impact it leaves in its wake. When someone gives from the depths of their heart, their actions ripple through generations, often in ways they could never anticipate. A sacrifice made today may manifest as an opportunity for another tomorrow. A kindness extended without expectation can set off a chain reaction, creating a legacy of goodwill and gratitude that lingers long after the original act is forgotten. In this way, the timeless nature of giving reveals itself not in the fleeting act itself, but in its lasting influence on the lives it touches. The beauty of giving lies in its boundlessness. It transcends the giver and the receiver, becoming a force that exists independently of either. Whether it is a sacrifice made by a mother for her child, an act of generosity toward a stranger, or the gift of time and effort for a cause, each act of giving is a thread woven into the fabric of life. Over time, these threads form a tapestry that connects us all, reminding us of the power of small actions. The profound impact of small actions is often overlooked in a world that values grand gestures and monumental achievements. Yet it is the small, seemingly insignificant acts that weave the fabric of meaningful change and lasting connection. A kind word, a helping hand, or a moment of genuine attention may appear trivial in isolation, but these acts possess a quiet power that transcends their simplicity. Small actions are powerful precisely because they are accessible to everyone. They require no great resources, no elaborate planning, only a willingness to act with intention. A smile shared with a stranger, a thoughtful gesture toward a loved one, or a single step taken toward a distant goal, all of these are small, but their effects can ripple outward in unexpected and transformative ways. These acts often go unnoticed even by those who perform them, yet they hold the potential to change the course of a day, a decision, or even a life. A small act of kindness can soften a hardened heart. A word of encouragement can ignite a spark of confidence, and a brief moment of patience can diffuse conflict. The cumulative power of these moments lies in their ability to create a world that feels a little less indifferent and a little more connected. Small actions also teach us that change does not always come in sweeping waves, but in tiny, persistent currents. They remind us that progress is often made one step at a time, that success is built on countless small efforts, and that love is expressed not only in grand declarations, but in the daily gestures that show care and commitment. These actions may seem insignificant in isolation, but over time they build momentum, shaping lives and communities in profound ways. The beauty of small actions is their ability to multiply. A single act of generosity can inspire another, setting off a chain reaction that spreads far beyond its origin. Each action becomes part of a greater whole, a network of kindness and intention that reinforces the idea that even the smallest effort can contribute to something much larger. This power lies not in the magnitude of the action itself, but in its capacity to connect, uplift, and inspire. The pain of letting go. Letting go is one of the most profound and painful experiences a person can endure. It is not merely the act of releasing something, but a deep confrontation with the attachments, dreams, and expectations that have become entwined with one's sense of self. The pain lies not only in what is lost, but in the process of unbinding oneself from what once felt essential, from the hopes and ideals that shape the path forward. To let go is to surrender control, to accept that certain things are no longer meant to be held. It requires facing the raw vulnerability that comes with acknowledging the limits of one's power, the fragility of plans, and the unpredictability of life. In that moment of release, there is often a sense of grief or mourning, not just for what is lost, but for the version of oneself that was tied to it. The pain of letting go is amplified by the stories we tell ourselves about what could have been. It is the struggle to reconcile reality with the imagined outcomes we held onto so tightly. These stories carry the weight of dreams unfulfilled, of futures we once envisioned, and of the security we found in familiarity. Letting go demands that we face the discomfort of emptiness, the unsettling feeling of stepping into the unknown without the anchor of what once was. There is also a silent pain in the quiet choices to let go for the sake of someone else. It is the mother who relinquishes her own ambitions to nurture her child's, the friend who steps back so another can grow, or the partner who releases love for the other's freedom. These moments are marked by sacrifice, where letting go is not a matter of choice but of necessity, driven by a deeper commitment to something greater than oneself. Letting go often feels like an unraveling, a breaking apart of the identity that was built around what is being released. The hands that once clung tightly must learn to remain open, to accept the loss and the uncertainty it brings. The pain is sharp because it is tied to growth. It demands that one step into a new space where the familiar is gone and the future is undefined. It is the ache of shedding what no longer fits, even as it leaves behind an indelible mark on the heart. Silent resilience. Silent resilience is the quiet strength that emerges when life's challenges are met not with loud defiance or dramatic gestures, but with an enduring inner resolve. It is the ability to endure hardship without drawing attention to the struggle, to carry burdens without complaint, and to continue moving forward even when the path seems uncertain. This resilience is not built on external recognition or applause, but on an internal fortitude that persists regardless of whether anyone is watching. Resilience, in its silent form, does not need to declare itself. It is expressed in the ability to rise again after setbacks, in the patience to wait for things to improve, and in the grace to keep going when the world feels overwhelming. It is the person who, in the face of loss or disappointment, chooses not to be defined by the circumstances, but to find meaning in the journey itself. This strength is often invisible, a quiet determination that lies beneath the surface, unnoticed by many but The ripple effect of her love begins in the places closest to her, the family, the friends, the community she nurtures. But from there it extends far beyond what can be seen. A mother's unconditional love for her children lays the foundation for them to love others in return, creating a cycle of care that perpetuates itself. A simple act of kindness extended by one person can inspire countless others to do the same, unknowingly creating a chain of love and connection that stretches across time and space. What is remarkable about the ripple effect of her love is how it is not contingent upon being noticed or reciprocated. It is not love with conditions or expectations, it is love that simply gives, because giving is what love does. She does not wait for recognition or validation, because she understands that love's true power lies in its ability to influence without needing acknowledgement. Her love flows quietly but steadily, creating changes in ways that may never be seen, yet are felt deeply. The ripple effect also extends to those who witness her love, not just those who receive it directly. When others observe acts of kindness, compassion, and understanding, they are often inspired to reflect those qualities in their own lives. Her love becomes a model, a guide for how others can approach the world with more empathy and generosity. In this way, her love has the power to change the hearts of many, even those she has never met or directly influenced. Each ripple creates a broader impact than the last, weaving a web of connection that reaches far beyond her immediate influence. Her love, though it may seem small or quiet in the moment, builds a foundation of trust and goodwill that endures through time. It is a quiet force that nurtures, supports, and uplifts not just the individual, but the collective spirit of those around her. Living beyond gratitude. Gratitude is often seen as a simple acknowledgement of the good things in our lives, a momentary recognition of the blessings we have. But living beyond gratitude invites us to expand our perspective, to move beyond the act of thankfulness into a deeper, more profound way of being. It is not merely about expressing thanks for what is given, but about embodying a state of appreciation that transforms how we engage with the world, how we view both the mundane and the extraordinary. Living beyond gratitude means approaching each moment with awareness of its inherent value. It is about seeing the beauty in both the light and the dark, recognizing that every experience, no matter how challenging, offers a lesson or an opportunity for growth. It is the ability to live in a state of perpetual thankfulness, not just for what is being received, but for the very act of existence itself, the breath we take, the connections we make, and the simple gift of being alive. This way of living invites us to let go of the notion that gratitude is simply a reaction to what we perceive as good. Instead, we begin to see that gratitude is a state of being, a mindset that permeates everything we do. It transcends the idea of thankfulness for specific outcomes and transforms into a deeper appreciation for life in all its complexity. Even in the face of adversity or hardship, there is an acknowledgement of the richness of experience that comes from living fully, from navigating the highs and lows with awareness and grace. Living beyond gratitude also means embracing a sense of interconnectedness with others. It is recognizing that we are all part of a larger whole, that our actions, thoughts, and feelings are inextricably linked to those around us. This expanded view of gratitude moves beyond individual thankfulness and fosters a sense of collective appreciation. We begin to see how everything and everyone contributes to the fabric of our existence, how each encounter, no matter how fleeting, plays a part in shaping who we are. Furthermore, living beyond gratitude asks us to cultivate an inner peace that is not dependent on external circumstances. It invites us to create a space where we can appreciate the present moment without waiting for something to change or improve. It is about finding contentment in the now, regardless of what is happening outside us. In this state of being, gratitude becomes an inherent part of our experience, woven into the fabric of our daily lives. In essence, living beyond gratitude means not just recognizing the blessings we have, but integrating that recognition into how we live. It is about allowing gratitude to become the foundation from which we build a life of meaning, connection, and fulfillment, no longer limited to moments of thankfulness, but expanding into every breath, every step, and every interaction. It is living with a heart open to the present, fully aware of the preciousness of each moment, and deeply appreciative of the continuous unfolding of life itself, in the mirror of sacrifice. Sacrifice is often seen as an act of giving something up for the benefit of someone or something else. Yet when we look deeper, sacrifice holds a mirror up to the soul, reflecting not just what we give away, but also who we are, who we become, and what we hold most dear. It challenges us to confront our own desires, to question our attachments, and to understand the weight of the eternal presence of her influence. There are forces in the world that remain with us long after their physical presence has faded, shaping the course of our lives in subtle, enduring ways. The influence of a woman who loves, teaches, nurtures, or guides has a timeless quality, a presence that transcends the moment and reverberates across time. Her influence lingers in the air, in the memories, in the actions of those she has touched, leaving behind a mark that never truly disappears. It is not confined to what can be seen or measured, but exists in the quiet, invisible spaces between moments, woven into the very fabric of who we are. The eternal presence of her influence is felt in the lessons she imparts, not just through words, but through her actions, her choices, and the example she sets. Even after she is gone, those lessons continue to guide, shaping decisions and guiding paths in ways that cannot always be articulated. It is the way her wisdom still echoes in our minds when we face challenges, her voice still clear when we seek guidance, and her values still alive in the decisions we make. This influence does not fade, it persists, like a quiet current beneath the surface of our lives. Her influence endures in the way she shaped the people around her, instilling strength, kindness, resilience, and courage. The seeds she planted in the hearts of others continue to grow long after she is no longer physically present. In the choices her children make, in the actions of her friends, in the lives of those she inspired, we see her presence, carried forward in ways both small and large. Her influence has the power to ripple outward, creating a lasting legacy that transcends time and space. The eternal nature of her influence is not necessarily visible in grand, world-changing acts. It may not be the monumental achievements or public recognition that mark her existence. Instead, it is often found in the quiet, unremarkable moments when she comforted a broken heart, encouraged a faltering dream, or shared her love without expectation of anything in return. It is in these subtle gestures that her true influence is revealed, woven into the lives of those she touched. Her legacy is carried forward in these small acts of love, compassion, and understanding, each one a thread in the tapestry of her ongoing presence. Even when time has passed and the world has moved on, her influence remains embedded in the hearts of those who knew her. It is a memory that is not bound by time or space, a force that continues to guide and shape the future. The choices she made, the love she gave, and the way she lived her life serve as a compass for those who carry her influence with them. She becomes a part of them, woven into their identity and guiding them in ways that transcend her physical absence. The eternal presence of her influence also speaks to the quiet power that women hold, often unnoticed and uncelebrated in their time, yet whose impact reverberates through generations. Her influence is not bound by recognition or accolades. It is carried in the hearts of those who have felt her presence in the ways she shaped the world around her. It is a power that transcends the limits of time and place, a force that continues to live on in the actions, thoughts, and decisions of those she has touched. In this eternal presence, we come to understand that true influence is not about visibility, not about being celebrated or known. It is about the quiet, unwavering impact we have on others, the way we shape their hearts, their minds, and their futures. This kind of influence, like the woman who embodies it, remains forever present, even when the world has moved on. It exists not in the moments of recognition, but in the enduring, unspoken ways that continue to guide and inspire long after the physical presence is gone. In conclusion, the timeless nature of a woman's influence lies not in grand gestures or fleeting moments, but in the quiet, persistent impact she has on the hearts and minds of those around her. Her love, sacrifices, and wisdom reverberate through the lives she touches, leaving an indelible mark that shapes the world long after her physical presence has faded. The silent, enduring strength of her actions reflects the profound power she holds, transforming not just individuals but entire communities. As we reflect on her legacy, we understand that true influence is not measured by recognition, but by the lasting ripples of change, kindness, and wisdom she leaves behind, forever present in the lives she touched.